Welcome back to my cozy corner of the internet. I'm Mayastar, and this is the Mayastar Podcast. I teach energy healing courses online through Mayastar Academy, share spiritual guidance and mystical musings on the Maya Muses blog, and provide healing, ritual, and spellcasting services as a starseeded shaman and professional witch. And today is episode 44 in the Mayastar Unscripted series. Today we're talking about healing the high heart chakra and how working with this energy center can help us to release some of the difficult emotions we all encounter from time to time. And at the end of this episode, I'll be drawing from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle for our Starseed Guidance segment, where I'll be presenting some ideas for reflection and meditation. And you can view the card for this episode's oracle on the Mayastar Podcast YouTube channel by going to the channel homepage and then to the Community Posts tab. As usual, I come armed with notes but without a script, so we'll be meandering around these topics and pursuing the scenic route to enlightenment. If this sounds interesting to you, stick around and while away some time with me as we explore these things together. Find out about the different ways you can work with me and discover my energy healing and spiritual development courses by visiting my website at mayastar.net, where you can also join the Mayastar mailing list to stay up to date with the latest special offers. So, negative emotions. We're talking about the emotions that can bring your energy frequency down to a lower vibration, and they tend to be the ones that make you feel negative, although that's not always the case. If you're an obsessive type of person, you may experience quite euphoric feelings that are actually having a negative effect on you when you're becoming too obsessed with something or too attached to something. But generally, the negative emotions that we all experience occasionally are things like jealousy, resentment, anger, guilt, or bitterness. We're often talking about those emotions that come about when you're really stewing in them. You're really focusing on something and it's going around and around, and those emotions take on a kind of momentum, and it's really hard to break free of that negative influence after a while. And because they're so difficult to shake off, if they persist over a long period of time, they can really bring your whole mood down. Like they'll be running in the background, even when you're doing things you enjoy. In the background, there's some sort of negativity eating away at the good vibes. And we tend to notice that they affect our mood because they're emotions. But we don't consider the effect on the energy body that aligning with those low frequencies might have. And the energy body, although the effect may be subtle, it has far-reaching consequences because all aspects of your health are tied to your energy body. So if there's an imbalance in your emotions, it could, through the energy body, be reflected in your physical health. And if that situation persists for a long period of time, where you're really dwelling in negative emotions, it could have a profound effect on your physical health and lead to diseases and illness and conditions that you don't realize are tied to the emotional state that you're perpetuating. And I say that you are perpetuating. It may feel sometimes like you're powerless in the face of these emotions, but your emotions don't come from outside of yourself. They're a reaction to things. And if you find that you're reacting to circumstances, people, or situations in a negative way, in a way that really doesn't serve you ultimately, and which may compromise your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, then it's a good idea to do something about it, to interrupt those emotions and try to establish why you keep falling into that trap. What could you change about your interpretation of events? How could you shift your perspective so that those same thoughts and feelings don't become repetitive? So that's what we're looking at today, really, how the negative emotions can trap you in a low vibrational energy, and why working with the high heart chakra is important, and what it can do for us in those situations, and how energy healing can help us to shift that energetic state and move beyond those lower frequencies into a more harmonious and balanced way of existing. So when you feel that you're stuck in a negative loop, and perhaps you're fixated on what somebody else has, what somebody else has done, you're generally focusing on something external when you're aligning with these negative feelings. It tends to be that your attention is very much focused on something to the exclusion of a balanced perspective. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel trapped in the loop. It wouldn't be a perpetuating cycle. Or it could be that you've got a grudge or some sort of vendetta, or you're seeking vengeance on some level, and you keep replaying events to wind yourself up, essentially, and that kind of thing. Everybody's done it, and it's something that it is your responsibility to break. And regardless of the circumstances, regardless of whether someone's done wrong to you and they deserve your negativity, anger, or vengeance, the main reason to let go of these emotions is because they're having an effect on you. They're creating an imbalance in your energy field, creating debris within your energy field that blocks or stagnates over time. It can act as a filter. You might want to think of these as being magnetic in a way, because when you're putting an energy out into the world, you're also attracting that back. So if you're putting out energy that is negative, angry, spiteful, vicious, or just negative in any way, you're encouraging the world, you're encouraging the universe to deliver you more of that emotion, more of the circumstances that would inspire those negative emotions. So although, it's natural to have negative emotions from time to time, what's not natural is to dwell on them, focus on them, and keep them cycling around in an unbalanced way, rather than using it as an indication of discomfort or disquiet or something negative around you that makes you think, well, I better ground myself, protect my energy field, focus on the things that actually mean something to me. Stop putting my energy into things that are nothing to do with me or things that I can't change. So if you think about times that you have felt jealous of another person, when you're indulging in that particular emotion, you're actually focusing on your lack. You're making it much more difficult to appreciate the things that you have and the achievements that you've made and things like that. So even though you might think that your focus is on one thing, the implication is very harmful to you. And another example of that might be bitterness. If you're indulging in that emotion, that negative emotion over a period of time, you're telling yourself in a roundabout way that life is unfair and you're a victim of circumstances, or you have no power in this situation and there's nothing you can do. So you're sending yourself again a very negative message, something that will keep you trapped and limited in what you can achieve. And in that state, good opportunities might come along, but you may not perceive them because you're so focused on the limitations that you're setting yourself through that emotional state. Anger. Now, some people might say, oh, well, anger, sometimes I can find it quite motivating. It can get me out of bed and get me active. And that might be fine occasionally, but we're talking about when you're dwelling in these emotional states and they're becoming a repeating pattern. And if you're hanging on to anger, think of the sort of stress that's arising within your body. Your blood pressure could be going up. You could be releasing a lot of extra cortisol and adrenaline, affecting your quality of sleep, and therefore not allowing your body to repair itself properly. So how would anger be serving you in the long run if it was something you kept touching base with every single day? It would be doing you a lot of harm over a period of time. So again, you'd be shooting yourself in the foot to allow that to continue. So one of the things that we can do is if we find ourselves, our emotional state, dwelling on these negative energies, bringing us down and reinforcing limitations and blocks within the energy field, we can connect with the high heart chakra. We can work to activate that energy, to align with that energy, to balance that energy, and to bring in the ideas, the inspiration, and those frequencies that will act as an antidote to our negative thinking. And the high heart chakra is located between the heart chakra and the throat chakra. So it's often described as being coloured turquoise, a mixture of the green of the heart chakra and the blue of the throat chakra. And it's aligned with the thymus gland. Now, the thymus gland affects our immune system, our immune function. And our thymus gland shrinks over the course of our lives. But the bigger it is, the more powerful the immune system is. And likewise, when your high heart chakra or thymus chakra is balanced and activated, the stronger your energetic immunity is, your spiritual immunity. So you can think of your work on the high heart chakra as being something you do to maintain your energetic health. This energy center governs unconditional love, true spiritual love, not just the romantic kind, but divine love, universal love, the kind of love that keeps you connected with the universe and with all living things. It connects us with the higher spiritual applications of our emotions, such as forgiveness and mercy. of being able to rise above things, see things from a higher perspective, a higher consciousness, so that we can let go of past injury and negative experiences. We can release them, we can forgive them, we can let it go. And the thymus chakra or high heart chakra is also connected with spiritual healing. Again, because of the thymus gland and the concept of energetic or spiritual immunity that we can achieve when this energy center is fully active and balanced. Now, when the high heart chakra is deficient in energy or blocked, because we're tying ourselves into low frequency and negative emotions, we may over time start to feel emotionally disconnected. We may feel unable to express how we feel. We might also find that our creativity is blocked, and we might experience chronic stress or issues with the immune system. But once we resolve that situation by working on healing the high heart chakra, balancing our energy, and the energy is able to flow freely, we're able to experience love, compassion, freedom from pain, freedom from grudges, a greater emotional resilience, so not as reactive, not as changeable on an emotional level, those times when you're happy one minute, sad the next minute, and you feel like you have no control over your emotions at all. I would say any kind of energy work can help you to bring that sort of balance into your life just by regularly tapping into energy healing. It's a bit like meditation in that sense, where you can create a space in your life where you stop what you're doing and bring your energy back to yourself. You disconnect from those external attention grabbers, the people, the circumstances, the worries and stresses, and bring your energy back to yourself, if only for a short time, through any kind of energy healing work. That can really help you to align more strongly with your intuition, to receive that divine guidance that will help you to overcome those limitations and bring things back into balance. So there are lots of ways you could work on the high heart chakra, but one of the ones I would recommend is the high heart chakra clearing and activation system. This is specifically for working with the high heart chakra, and it's a bit like an energetic detox, effectively, clearing out those old energies and bringing you back into alignment with your highest emotions, with divine love, and strengthening your connection with the universe. And you can use this energy healing system during your meditation work, your yoga practice, or during ritual work or ritual bathing, to help you to bring those frequencies through on a regular basis and keep you more aligned with those. If you think about it, if you're trapped in a cycle of negative emotions, it's something that you're revisiting day after day that starts to take on a life of its own and become a new normal or a new abnormal. But if you keep returning to a spiritual practice that aligns you with the high heart chakra every single day, then you're creating your own chain reaction. You're deciding that you're going to use that phenomenon to align yourself with higher frequencies, with different energies, with new possibilities. So that would be one option. There's also the Wheel of Light starseed activation, higher heart chakra attunement, which is a starseed focused energy channeled through the Lemurian mother goddess Amara. And again, it connects you with those higher dimensional frequencies, focusing on your higher emotions and helping you to align with your highest spiritual ideals, so your highest goals. And this particular attunement includes a light language mantra and a sacred symbol and a sonic meditation track, all of which are designed to open the energy center and align you with love-based consciousness and a stronger connection with your emotional self, but your true emotions, not the ones that tend to originate from the ego, that are driven by fear and negativity, but those emotions that give you something to smile about every day, that allow you to see the silver lining, that motivate you and help you to feel lifted, joyful. You're not going to feel lifted and joyful every minute of every day, but if you're really trapped in negative emotions, you're not going to feel lifted and joyful at any moment of any day. So just connecting with these positive energies opens up opportunities on an energetic level. It's a very powerful thing. And another option you might consider is the Love Flush Empowerments course, which is sort of like a spiritual cleansing that can help you to clear away the negative patterns and the negative codes that exist within your energy field, those that come from past heartache, past resentments, emotional pain that you've experienced, and negative patterns that you've been repeating. This is a great one for bathing rituals because it's a very cleansing type of energy. And my final recommendation would be the Dolphin Heart Reiki course. This is one that I particularly love. I mean, if you resonate with Lemuria or Atlantis or with the element of water, with dolphins in general, I mean, the dolphin energy is really uplifting, innocent. It's really great for inner child work. It's really great for restoring your creativity and giving you reasons to smile. I think aligning with those dolphin frequencies can really restore your sense of wonder. It really creates an openness within your energy field, opens you up to positive experiences, new opportunities, and growth. Yeah, if you feel drawn to watery energy, Lemuria and Atlantis, then that would be an excellent system to work with, the Dolphin Heart Reiki course. So if you're interested in any of the energy healing modalities I've mentioned today, you can find all of them detailed on the Mayastar website at mayastar.net. And you'll find a lot more options there as well that will inspire your healing practices. And while you're there, don't forget to join the Mayastar mailing list to stay up to date with all the latest course additions and special offers. And that brings us to the Starseed Guidance segment for this week, where we seek some spiritual inspiration for the week, drawn from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle, which I've been using to connect with my Lemurian guides and to provide you with some inspiration for your spiritual practice. And this week's card is called Divine Cosmic Mother Womb. It features a pinky, beigey, salmony colour, a ballet pink colour, if you will. A very light pastel coloured energy with a distinctly feminine quality, and it shows movement of light energy around someone who's enveloped in a an energetic mantle of some kind. It carries the vibe of nurturing, comfort, protection, a very secure, safe, healing, soothing energy. Actually reminds me of the crystal rose, if you've been attuned to that. That's a beautiful, delicate, feminine energy as well. I probably should have mentioned it earlier as one of the courses that would be good for those working on the high heart chakra, overcoming those painful and low vibe emotions. So perhaps this card has come up to remind me to mention the Crystal Rose Attunement course. That might be one that you feel connected to. But let's have a look and see what the guidebook has to say about this card. Okay, it says, "You are loved and safe. Rest now. Sleep well. Be nurtured. The universal principle of motherhood nurtures to heal wounds of attachment, limitation, and lack of love." It's rather apt, isn't it? I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any ambiguity there. It's pretty clear. This card's really reinforcing the message of everything we've been talking about today. Okay. She is the Divine Mother who is with me in moments of loss and despair, when I need to remember my heart, who I am beyond mind limitations. Oh, this is very much connecting me with the Lemurian goddess Amara. That's very much the energy I experience when I'm working with the Lemurian goddess Amara. It also says, "The oceans are her womb, and Lemuria is her cradle. She nurtures us in her womb and her cradle, inviting us back to oceanic consciousness. The Divine Mother loves all, holds all, and nurtures all. Invite her by surrendering your fears, your emotions, and your mind-based self. In Lemurian Eden, she was ever present, and there was no fear. Invite her so you can experience this deep truth that was known in Lemuria. The Lemurian dolphins knew they were swimming in the womb, and they revered the Divine Mother. They used her portals and energetic vortices in the oceans to flow through different dimensions. The Lemurian humans, too, knew they were in the cradle of the Divine Mother. They knew with great gratitude the material world as her creation and honoured it with much love and care. You are invited now to go back to the cradle of Lemuria and the cosmic womb of bliss, to let all of yourself be nurtured and loved. Listen to the words of the Divine Mother." Oh, it's a really beautiful card. It really aligns with exactly what we've been talking about today. So I think if you do feel moved to connect with the energy of this card, focusing on the high heart chakra, moving beyond limiting and low vibrational frequencies by mindfully connecting with your higher emotions, your higher spiritual capacity for feeling and expressing love, and being receptive to the divine love of the goddess would be a great way to do that. And as I said before, if you want to see this card, do go and check on the Mayastar Podcast YouTube channel, because I'll be posting an image of this card on the community posts tab, so you can check it out and see how you feel about the energy. If you're listening on a different podcast app, please do leave a comment, a like, a follow interact with the podcast however you can, because it helps the algorithm to push it out to people who would be interested in it. And that's always a good thing. So by taking the time to interact with the podcast wherever you're listening to it, you're really paying it forward. You may be getting this message to somebody who really needs to hear it right now. And if you can share the podcast on your social media or with your friends, I'm very grateful for that. It really helps to get more people involved in their healing practice. And that brings us to the end of today's Unscripted episode. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you're leaving this episode suffused with good vibes and great ideas. You can hear more from me today by exploring previous Unscripted episodes. And remember that these episodes are pre-recorded and inspired by the articles that I put out on my blog. So to learn more and read my latest top tips and recommendations, please visit the Maya Muses blog at blog.mayastar.net. I hope to see you back here again soon. And in the meantime, I wish you peace, prosperity, and progress in all you do. With blessings.